If your body could speak to you right now, what would it say? Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin. I'm the author of 12 published books, including Enlightened Medicine, Your Power to Get Well Now, an integrative approach to healing the 7 deadly lifestyle diseases, and Heal Yourself, a return to wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit. You can find all of my published books on Amazon and now on Ingram Spark. All the links are below. If you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you here. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do tarot readings, I teach meditation. You can check those all out on my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to this video entitled, Your Body Deserves Better. Much, much better. In my books and on this YouTube channel, I teach you how to awaken your spirit in a way that changes your perspective and helps you to integrate in body, mind, soul, and spirit. And to that end, I really like to shake up your thinking. Now, this might not be something that is super popular in that it's not going to make you feel good right away, but in the long run, this will make you feel so much better. To start off, I'm going to give you a couple of statistics and the reason why I really wanted to talk about this week, especially since on Tuesday, I posted a video on the first of the 8 limbs of yoga, the first yama of the first 8 limbs of yoga, which is Ahimsa, or non-harming, or non-violence. And I would consider that if you need to treat your body better, your body deserves much, much better, that is following this principle of non-harming. So they really do connect. Here are a couple of statistics for you. 40.3% of American adults are obese. Now, that is not counting those who are also overweight and obese. That reaches closer to 50%. 2.7 billion adults worldwide are overweight or obese. The second statistic is 48.5 million Americans aged 12 and older, or 17%, suffer from substance use disorder. Now, that's not counting those who have not been diagnosed with substance use disorder. Those statistics are alarming, but what is even more alarming is the rapid rate at which those statistics are increasing. When you think about it, 1 out of every 2 American adults are either overweight or obese, and that 17% have a diagnosed substance use disorder. Those numbers are very high, and that's why I wanted to produce this video on why your body deserves better, much, much better. Now, I'm going to take a holistic approach to this, so please do stay tuned if you're interested in figuring out the problem behind maybe something that you have suffered from, whether it is overeating, drug use, alcohol use, neglect in the way of neglecting to eat the proper foods or neglecting to exercise your body or even get the proper amount of sleep. So we're going to take a holistic approach here. And I'd first like to start with the spiritual approach to this. As souls, we come into our human body that we choose, right? We choose the color of our eyes. We choose our height. We choose our hair color. We choose how long we're going to live. So we actually choose before we even come here. Now, of course, there are variations to that because of free will. But in essence, we are souls that actually choose to be here. We choose to incarnate on earth. We choose to incarnate into a human body. And so since we have this choice, we've chosen a physical body to have for the duration of this lifetime. Now, as souls, we never intended to hate our bodies. Never in a million years. In fact, when we chose to come here, we chose to love these bodies as the vessel, as the vehicle through which we would experience life in this lifetime. And so we intended to have good experiences with this body. We intended to accept this body and to love this body. We intended to treat it well so that we could live out the duration of the life experience that we signed up for. Okay, that's the spiritual perspective of things, is that you never intended to abuse your body. You never intended to give it poor nutrition, to overeat, to give it drugs, to give it alcohol, and to do all of the things that many people do in excess because they do not accept their bodies. That leads me to the next point, body acceptance. Now, I'm going to post a meditation on Sunday that helps you move through body acceptance. Now, I'm going to go through what body acceptance is and what it is not. I believe in today's society, we're talking in 2025, whether you're watching this in 2025 or a little bit after that, in 2025, we have become societies of complacency. What does that mean? It means that we have come to a point at which we don't accept ourselves for the most part, especially if you suffer from being overweight, obesity, if you're suffering from drug or alcohol overuse or even addiction, if you suffer from lack of sleep, overworking, and so on and so forth. We don't accept ourselves and our bodies in the way that we need to have this full life experience. And therefore we project it outward onto others, whether it is our family, friends, social groups, or society. And so something very disturbing, interesting, but disturbing has happened in the past 10 to 15 years. What has happened is a movement geared toward body acceptance for any size, but also this lack of body shaming. And it's almost become this movement that has taken on a life of its own that causes others to feel responsible for how you feel about yourself. And if somebody overeats, if somebody has substance use issues, or if somebody does not take care of their body in the way that they intended to when their soul came through, that is a problem with them not accepting their body, not other people not accepting their body. And so if you point the finger outward and say, you're causing me to have body shame, or you're causing me to not accept my body. And so therefore, whether I weigh 100 pounds or 800 pounds, you have to accept me for who I am. That is really masking the lack of self-acceptance. While we came here and chose our body shape, while we came here and have free will to do whatever we want with it, with our bodies, there's one thing that is more or less invariable. You have to accept the body that you chose to come here with. Now, there's some movement for betterment of the body, of course, right? You can work out, you can lift weights, you can play sports, you can exercise it, you can eat the optimal foods. But for example, if you're 4'11", there's not much changing that. You're going to have to come to full acceptance that you will probably be 4'11" for the rest of your life in this body. The same goes if you are very big boned and have very big feet and you can't find shoes to fit you. You might have to come to some sort of acceptance that you came in with these feet. They got big through adolescence, and you're probably going to have big feet for the rest of your life. And it might be difficult to find shoes. The body acceptance piece is more or less accepting the structure that you chose, accepting more or less the shape that you chose, but also trying to give it a leg up, right? You came in with this soul, and the soul chose the body, and you can say to the body, I hate you, you're a terrible body, I didn't want to be in you in the first place. Or you can accept your body and say, look, I didn't choose to be 4'11", at least I don't think I chose that. Maybe I did, but there's not a lot I can do to change it. So I am going to learn to accept that. So that's really what body acceptance is about. If someone says to you, I weigh 400 pounds, you better accept me because I accept me, they're lying through their teeth, because you can't possibly accept your body and mistreat your body. And feeding it way too much food to get into that maintenance factor of maintaining a very high body weight takes a lot of effort. Because it takes a lot of effort to keep it or maintain it at that very high body weight, when you're trying to overeat and you're on that path of obesity, you know that there's a lot of negativity that's going to come with that. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, certain types of cancers, and so on and so on and so on. So the person who is shouting, you have to accept me, whether I am 500 pounds, 400 pounds, 300 pounds, or 800 pounds, rest assured they're not accepting themselves, even if they say they are, because they have chosen to mistreat their body and not treat it the way it deserves to be treated. The same goes for the person who chooses to pour alcohol down their bodies daily and who shouts outwardly, you don't accept me for who I am. I can drink as much as I want, when I want. Again, they are not accepting themselves for who they are in the body shape that they're in the body that they chose, because they know the ramifications of drinking alcohol in excess. They just know this. It's coming from a place of not accepting their bodies. Same goes for drug use or non-exercise, or not giving their bodies enough rest. So most people do understand fairly well that if you are not treating your body the way it deserves to be treated, that there is a mental component to this. There's a thought process, a thought pattern. There is social conditioning that is somehow causing you to not make the right choices for your body. And when we look at things from that perspective of maybe because of my upbringing, maybe because of my negative emotions, I overeat or I overdrink, or I don't exercise, or I take too many drugs because I'm trying to drown out those negative feelings. But that truly is a form of self-punishment. And that is truly a form of self-harming. And so when you look at it like that, it puts into question why you're doing that. Why are you choosing to punish yourself if somebody else on the outside of you has seemingly punished you? Or if someone has made fun of you in the past, and as a result, you overeat, drink too much alcohol, so on and so forth. You get the gist here. But if someone made fun of you in the past, and then you choose to overindulge and abuse your body, then you are again punishing yourself for treatment that you don't want to have happen to you. So in essence, you are giving yourself a worse treatment as a result of a treatment that you didn't like that you received. And when you consider that your mission, your soul's mission of being here, your soul's mission, your soul's purpose is to play out this life in this human body that you chose, and that the only way it's going to be able to do that properly is if you take care of the human body, if you treat it well, if you treat it with respect. Now, that's not to say that we can't have fun from time to time. We can't eat that chocolate cake, or we can't have a glass of wine. But what it does mean is that on a general basis, if you're going toward excessive measures to not treat your body well, that is creating harm towards your body, and that's creating harm towards your life, and it's no one's fault except your own, because no one is administering that self-punishment to you except for you. And you are the only one who is in control of taking care of this vessel that houses your soul. You are the only one. It's nobody else's job but yours. Even when you were a child, right? Even when you were a child, your parents could place the food in front of you, but it was your job to eat that food. And even if there are mean parents who shoved the food down your throats, most parents did not do that on a consistent basis, right? They had their own lives going on. They were at work. They had other children to tend to. So in essence, even when you were small, it was still your job to take care of your physical body. And the same goes as an adult. So the question remains, why do we choose to self-punish? Why do we choose to not treat our bodies like the beautiful temple that houses our soul that it is? No matter which shape you chose, why do you think it's best to ignore this beautiful body that you chose when it comes to your life for most of the time? That's a question for you to answer. I'm not going to answer that one for you. You could blame other people, circumstances, events. You could blame your past. You could blame your former relationships. You could blame your parents. You could make up all sorts of excuses about not having the money to afford good foods. You could make excuses of, well, my father was an alcoholic, therefore I'm an alcoholic. You could make excuses as to, well, somebody got me started with these drugs and now I'm very addicted to these drugs, or now I just want to smoke weed every day. Those are just excuses, and we could probably conjure up right now on the spot. We could probably conjure up 1,000 excuses in about 5 minutes. It would be really easy to do. Really easy. You get out a pen and paper, set the timer for 5 minutes, write down as many excuses as you could think of as to why you don't treat your body like the beautiful temple that houses your soul that it was meant to be. You could think of 1 billion reasons, and none of those are valid. None of them are valid, because it's your job to take care of your body. Your body deserves so much better than what you are giving it on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly and monthly and yearly basis, on a lifetime basis. You deserve so much better than what you are giving your body. Now let's have a little food for thought here. And this is going to be some homework I'm going to give to you. Here's some food for thought. If your body could really say anything to you today, what would it tell you? Write that down. After this video, take a pen and paper, take your tablet, your phone, your computer, whatever it is, and write it down. If your body could talk, if your body could say anything to you right now, what would it say? The next question is, no guilt, no shame, no blame on this one, right? This is just an assessment. We are looking at things differently. What have you done to abuse your body in the past 10 to 20 years, or maybe in the past year, or maybe even in the past 6 months? What have you done? Has it been overeating? Has it been eating the wrong foods? Has it been binge eating late at night? Has it been a lack of movement and exercise? Has it been drinking too much alcohol? Taking too many drugs? Has it been sabotage through blaming other people for the way that you treat your body? Because that's toxic, and that's going to bring to you toxic chemicals, all the stress hormones. Because if you're in denial as to how you're treating your body because you've been blaming other people for how you treat your body, then that is creating more stress on you, because you can't control other people. You can't control other people. You can't control the world. You can't control what other people say, do, or act. You can only control your own behavior and your own self-talk and how you treat your body on a daily basis. That's the only thing you can control. You are in direct control of that. You are in direct control of how you choose to be in this body, right? Because a lot of people, they play Russian roulette with their health and they don't think about it and they're not conscientious and they're not mindful. And then when they get type 2 diabetes, when they get high blood pressure, high cholesterol, when they get heart disease, when they get certain types of cancers, they're like, why did I get this? This doesn't make any sense. But it all makes sense, especially with lifestyle diseases. It all makes sense because it's directly correlated, for the most part, it's directly correlated with how you're treating your body on the day-to-day. Because disease is built over time. It's built over years. It's not built in the moment. It's built over years of neglect. It's built over years of eating toxic foods. You know which toxic foods I'm talking about, right? We don't have to go over that. You know, it is over years of overeating and lack of exercise. It's over years of drinking alcohol in excess. It's over years of taking drugs, right? So it's not that disease is going to creep up on you one day and just surprise you and jump out from behind the couch and show itself to you. Absolutely not. It builds up over time. So maybe today you could make a decision to maybe not change, but watch what you do with your body on the day-to-day. You could watch it for a day, a week, a month. Just watch it and maybe jot down the behaviors that you have toward your body. And then maybe after you jot down the behaviors that are not serving your body, you could then commit to change one thing at a time, and just practice that for a while. And then commit to changing something else into the positive. And then that way it will snowball. You could have a snowball effect because you will be feeling better in your body. And when you're feeling better in your body, you can make better choices for your body because your body does not deserve to be punished ever, never. Your body is working for you. Your body is working with you. It never deserves punishment. Never, 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 never. It deserves gratitude and praise all the time. Your body is a miracle machine. Your body is a healing machine, and it deserves the best treatment all the time. Food for thought. I hope I made you think a little. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who could use a little more self-love in their life. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can purchase one of my 12 published books. You can join my meditation course. Meditation, by the way, is a great way to treat yourself better. Thanks for your support, and I will see you in the next video.